Hello viewers, friends, and subscribers, it's AG, and today I'm answering your questions from last week. It's Q&A time. Mario 64 walkthrough. When is the next one coming? Well, the Mario 64 walkthrough has been deleted. I actually canceled it a couple months ago. I told people who added me on Twitter and Facebook that I did that. A lot of you guys still need to add me and stuff, so you know what's going on with the channel. But I deleted those videos. I was really busy, couldn't keep up with it. And I was actually kind of discouraged no one was watching them. So with all the time I was putting into it, I was like, you know, I don't think it's worth it. Just deleted it. I was actually pretty discouraged. And I messaged chuggaconroy, who specifically does walkthroughs on YouTube. I was like, dude, I'm done. I don't want to do walkthroughs anymore. It sucks. No one's watching them, that kind of thing. And he actually was very encouraging. He said, you know, just keep at it. People will come watch them. You do a good job, that kind of thing. He's very, very supportive. And I thank you, chuggaconroy, for being supportive. So that's why I continued doing my Mega Man 2 walkthrough. And, you know, a lot of people actually responded to it. So, thanks. If you had to make a biography on yourself, what would it be called? I'd probably call it Driving While Blindfolded. I'm going to get or buy new Mario Brothers Wii. You think is good or bad idea? Me thinks it's good idea to buy Mario Wii. Mario game always good. Me love Mario. I'm having problems doing my new series, and like I said, you'll be my first subject. Do you have any tips to help me? Well, sure, if you're making a new web series, it's a lot of hard work, so make sure you really want to do this. And second, if you want this to be a continued series, you want to do videos about reviewers or videos about people on YouTube, make sure you make videos frequently, make sure you do it accurately, as in you know what you're talking about, and you can talk about it better than anybody else, because there's a lot of people on YouTube that already do this kind of thing. So if you want to gain an audience, I think you have to stand out by being accurate, being entertaining, and doing it better than everyone else. And even if you try to do it better than everybody else and you don't, you still will gain an audience and you will be up there, because people recognize, oh wow, this guy is pretty good at what he does, and they'll subscribe or they'll watch you and that kind of thing. So make sure you really want to do this thing and just try your hardest. And make sure you have a script too, because if you don't have a script, you'd be pretty much screwed, because don't make up stuff on the fly or ad-lib it. Just script, make sure you know what you're saying, and you're good. What is the scariest movie you've ever seen? Scariest movie I've ever seen? I don't know if I can answer that question, because I don't really watch that many scary movies per se. Scary movies don't really do it for me, because I know they're fake, and there's always like a guy trying to kill a bunch of teenagers, like slasher pictures, and I just don't, that doesn't scare me, because you don't go to a slasher picture to be scared. It's like pretty much you go for the kills. Like, oh, I want to see how they kill people in this movie. Like, Scream had some really inventive ways of people getting killed, like the girl in the garage door. That was amazing. I mean, that was pretty inventive. But yeah, scary movies, I don't know, don't really do it for me. Blair Witch Project I thought was pretty well done, but I know a lot of people hated it. But I think people who are very visual and have a big imagination, they're the ones who got scared from that movie. And the people who need to be spoon-fed everything, they hated it. And that was like the same with Paranormal Activity, same thing. If you expect and you need to see something to be scared, you're not going to be scared of it. And I think the most effective films that don't show things, or they wait very long, those kind of build suspense. Like Jaws, like Spielberg didn't show the shark until like halfway through the movie, but you know the shark is coming, the shark is there, and that just makes it scarier. In your video that you hate Final Fantasy 13, you were playing Twilight Princess, and how to record games there was a Wii. How come you said you didn't have a Wii? And what's your favorite puzzle game? Well, I actually have Twilight Princess on GameCube, and like a couple months ago, 2 or 3 months ago, I had moved. I was living with roommates, and one of my roommates had a Nintendo Wii, and that's how I played Super Mario Galaxy. That's how I played games for Wii and stuff. But I don't have a Wii. I still don't have a next generation console. I don't. And my favorite puzzle game? Tetris Attack on Super NES. Have you seen Citizen Kane, and do you think it's overrated? What's your favorite book-based movie besides Shawshank Redemption? And how did you play Final Fantasy IX if it's only on PlayStation? Actually, I have not seen Citizen Kane, and it's because I've been very hesitant to watch it because it's on number 1 on the AFI's top 100 movies of all time list. And because of that, I'm very like, I don't really want to see it, because when I watch it, I know I'm going to say to myself, that's not the best movie I've ever made. I know it. So I do want to see it, but at the same time, I'm very hesitant to watch it. Now, I know the movie is number 1 because I made some groundbreaking strides in filmmaking, and I've read about all that, but at the same time, I have a feeling when I watch it, I'm going to say to myself, that's not the best movie like ever made. I know. I just know, because of the time period it was made and that kind of thing. There's been so many movies after that. So I'm sure it's pretty good, but at the same time I'm pretty sure I'll disagree it's the best ever. My favorite book-based movie other than Shawshank Redemption would have to be Jurassic Park, No Country for Old Men, and Clockwork Orange, for sure. How did I play Final Fantasy IX when I was a Nintendo kid growing up? Well, when I lived with my parents in high school / beginning of college, my sister had PlayStation, and she had Final Fantasy VII, and she had Final Fantasy IX, and I borrowed her PlayStation for like a week and beat Final Fantasy IX in a week. And she can contest to that. What did you think of Majora's Mask? Have you played any Paper Mario game? If so, what did you think of them? Have I played Majora's Mask? Are you kidding me? I'm a Zelda fanatic. I have Zelda Majora's Mask on N64, and I have it on this Nintendo collection I have on GameCube also. What did I think of it? It really strayed from a lot of the other Zelda games, but I think that's why I love it so much. The only complaint I think I have about this game is I felt that there weren't enough dungeons in it. Like, there should have been a lot more dungeons, because I was comparing it to Ocarina of Time. At first, I was kind of dismissed that they used a lot of characters from Ocarina of Time and just named them different things. And the first thing I thought was, oh, they're just doing that to save money. But you know, it actually worked on a lot of levels, because it was like, Termina was like a Bizarro world to Hyrule. And the whole thing with the 3 days and going back and reliving everything, that was the best. It wasn't a gimmick. I don't think it was a gimmick. It's probably the best thing about this game is it was kind of like the movie Groundhog Day, but then you would kind of see the same people walking around in the town, and you would have to like change their lives in some way with that bomber's notepad. So this is highly recommended to you if you've never played this before. You could probably get it on the Virtual Console now. I think I actually recently saw it on the Virtual Console when visited my parents' house. They have a Wii, and if you haven't played this yet, I recommend you buy it. I have Paper Mario on N64, and I also have Paper Mario on the GameCube. Now, I think it was the Paper Mario, this one, that when there's a part in it where Mario had to be in this death match, and they called him the Great Gonzalez. I think that is probably the funniest things I've ever seen in a game, where the best things about these Paper Mario games is the dialogue and the story. It's so witty and funny. Like, I did not expect that at all from this game. Now, Nintendo made these games kind of like as a follow-up to the Mario RPG on Super NES, because that's when they and Squaresoft came together and made that epic game. But they kind of continued that with Paper Mario, and it was great. It was really great. The only problem is that like you beat this game and that's pretty much it. You're done. The replay value is low unless you want to replay through the game again. But other than that, these are must-buys. I have not played the Paper Mario on Wii, but I really want to play that one. So I'm a fan of these games. Yes. Why do you refuse to drink Pepsi? What's your favorite food, and what's your favorite fantasy movie? Well, I refuse to drink Pepsi because, I don't know, there's something about it, it's just way too sugary. I think I grew up on Pepsi. I think my mom used to buy Pepsi all the time. And I don't know, it's just something about it when I have it now, I can't take it. And a lot of people say Coca-Cola is too sugary, but I don't know, I think Coca-Cola is just balanced, crisp, just, like perfect. But Pepsi, I mean, I'm serious, you guys. When I'm at a restaurant and, you know, the waitress would come and she's like, oh, what'd you like to drink? And I'm like, oh, a Coke. And she's like, well, we only have Pepsi. Is that okay? I'm like, no, it's not. Like, I really do that. I mean, seriously, people who hung out with me can tell you that. I've had it on occasions, but it's serious. I'm like, ugh, like I can't explain it. Favorite food has to be like T-bone steak or sirloin steak. You know, it's expensive. I can't have it all the time, but when I have it, oh man, that's my favorite food. Just steak, mashed potatoes, vegetables. Oh man, like I'm getting hungry right now just talking about it. Favorite fantasy movie? I'm not gonna like, oh, Lord of the Rings, you know, because everyone's gonna say that. I like Willow because Willow is so cheesy and so cliche that it's so fun to watch. Like George Lucas wrote Willow, and you can tell he did. It's seriously, if you guys have not seen Willow, I recommend it. It has all the fantasy cliches in the book: castles, dragons, people with swords. I mean, it's fun. It's my favorite. You didn't ask me the best. I said it's my favorite, so I say Willow. What's your favorite game on NES? Third-party titles only. Come on, do you really have to ask that question? Funniest movie of all time. In my opinion, every time I watch Dumb and Dumber, it's like the first time I've ever seen it. I have laughed more at that movie than any other movie I've ever seen. So, I'm going to say Dumb and Dumber. Do you have any thoughts on the Robocop remake? Well, if you guys haven't heard, Robocop is being remade, and supposedly it's going to be directed by Darren Aronofsky, who did Requiem for a Dream and recently The Wrestler. And since Darren Aronofsky is supposedly going to direct this movie, I'm actually not that worried about it. At the same time, Robocop is one of my favorite movies of all time. I watched it as a kid, like, all the time, like almost every other day. And seriously, I've seen that movie more than probably any other movie I've ever seen in my life. It's one of those movies where I've probably seen it more than 20 times. And I can quote it and all those kind of things. So when I heard there's going to be a remake, I was like, oh, that sucks. Why does there have to be a remake of Robocop? It didn't suck. I mean, why would you remake a movie that didn't suck? Well, it looks like the lighting in my video probably went from really good or decent to now crappy because I was using natural light from my window, but now the sun's going down and it's kind of cloudy outside, so anyway, I can't do anything about that now. But thanks for watching, guys. If you have questions for next week's Q&A, post them in the comment section below or leave a video response and I will answer them, I promise. And I'll see you next time. Enjoy the rest of my videos for the rest of the week.